Hi, my name's Tom and this is my Juice Plus story. Okay, so around 7 years ago I was told that I had a kidney condition known as polycystic kidney disease. I thought nothing of it, I just cracked on with my life. I was a young lad, carried on playing football, eating pizza, that sort of stuff, wasn't really bothered about it. Then around 4 years ago I started getting serious issues with my body, really, like my joints and all this sort of stuff. Obviously nothing to do with my kidney or anything like that, but I started asking questions because I was getting a lot of setbacks. I was just fatigued all the time, wearing compression tights for work because I was just in so much agony. I needed some support. I was wearing like wrist splints on the computer. Yeah, it wasn't good. Ice baths for post-exercise, just getting injured all the time. Yeah, it was pretty bad, and for about 2 years it's just ongoing, and I just didn't know where I was going. It was getting worse and worse, to be honest. And I was investing a lot of money in like rehab, pain relief, gels, creams, you name it, I was paying it. Then around 2 years ago, back to my kidney condition now, my mum, her kidney function just completely disappeared. It's pretty serious, and yeah, she needed to go on dialysis. So yeah, she was on dialysis for a few months, and yeah, if you don't know what dialysis is, basically you sit on a machine for 4 to 6 hours, and the machine flushes your body because your kidneys can't. And I only went once, and it really shook me up. It was quite sad, really. There was a lot of people just lying around on beds, and they all looked really ill, and it just wasn't nice to see. And that's when I started to think, do you know what? I don't want this in later life. I just don't. So what can I do about it? So the first thing I realised was that my diet wasn't going to help. Wasn't helping at all. Pizzas, crisps, all that sort of stuff is not going to help kidney function. So I started making changes, but they weren't great changes. I started looking into this paleo diet, and I was just eating meat all the time, like steak for breakfast and all that sort of stuff. It was really, really bad, and heavy on the meat side of things. And then about 14 months ago, so October 24th, 2013, I got a phone call from a friend, and he told me that he'd come across this nutrition breakthrough, something that was going to help him with his running. He'd just met an ultramarathon runner who'd been on this product for 15 plus years, a product called Juice Plus, and he'd had no setbacks, no illness, no disease, hardly any injuries, and that just blew me away. Like, I wanted to know more as soon as he told me that, because I'd had setbacks every 15 minutes, never mind every 15 years. So yeah, I was naturally intrigued about it. When I heard it was just about fruits, vegetables and berries, it was like a real shock, because I used to think I was quite healthy, and I weren't. I'd have like a few vegetables every day, but they were boiled, so I was killing them. I had 1 or 2 pieces of fruit a week, which is obviously pretty bad, and then no berries at all. No berries, no nuts, no seeds. Yeah, so you can imagine that was having a massive impact on my sort of condition, all these problems that I was having, and it would have an impact on my kidneys in future as well. So I started making changes, got on the products, learned more about nutrition, and within like 7 days I've noticed a massive difference. I came home from work one day, just thought I'd have a quick power nap before tea, ended up sleeping like 14 hours, ridiculous, just going for a huge detox at this point. And then within like a few weeks I started noticing like craving changes. I didn't want to pick up that chocolate bar, I wanted to eat more vegetables. A lot of the ingredients within Juice Plus as well, I was starting to naturally crave out of the fridge, which was pretty amazing. Within months I'd stopped going down the crisps aisle at Tesco and stopped buying in all this junk. I started wanting to make my own snacks, my own clean meals, that sort of thing. So I wasn't relying on a product, I was making all these other changes, kick-started by the product. It's pretty amazing, to be honest. Yeah, I was on the 2 products as well. I was on the premium capsules and the complete shakes. So the shakes I was using for breakfast, and once I started learning about smoothies, I was having like all these other ingredients in there, just chucking in stuff that I'd never used before. I've always experimented, since having smoothies for breakfast, and it's been an absolute godsend, to be honest. So what's that all done for me? Right, well, for starters, you know, the chronic fatigue is gone. You know, compression tights, don't wear them anymore. Wrist splints gone, bin that. I used to get a lot of sinus issues. I used to use a gas mask, believe it or not, to try and help with the sinuses, to clear them up. Gone, don't need that anymore. I don't drink Lemsips anymore. I used to drink them like they were cups of tea. That's gone. I mean, I've changed so many bad habits and brought in all these new ones. You know, I can't film them on this video, but it's just been a huge change. And that's kind of why I've created the clean eating routine, to be honest, because I'm now sharing that lifestyle with other people, and I'm seeing massive change in them as well. So it's pretty incredible what's happened to me. But yeah, I mean, in terms of my sport, you know, I can cycle for longer. I'm no longer in pain. I used to get a lot of back issues when I'm on my bike. Not anymore. It's gone. It's been a bit of a whirlwind, to be honest. Obviously, it can't cure a kidney condition. Okay, you know, having a clean lifestyle, it can't reduce. It can't get rid of joint problems that I've got, because I've recently found out that I've got a joint condition as well. It can't get rid of it. But what it can do is it can limit the risk of limit the chances of me having a transplant. It can limit the chances of me having to go on dialysis, and it can reduce the symptoms that this joint condition's been giving me for the last 4 or 5 years. So I'll be on these products for life. I'm determined to not have to do those things that my family's had to go through. The books, you know, it stops at me. You know, I now know about all this nutrition. There's no way I'm letting any family members go through what my mum's had to go through, what my aunties had to go through. They've both had transplants. My mum almost died on a table, you know, an operation table, and I can't bear the thought of anyone else having to go through that. So yeah, I'm forever grateful for Juice Plus. I'm forever grateful for my friend introducing me to the products. Yeah, and that's my story. Cheers.